Welcome to my new tutorial. Do check out my earlier tutorials on sound engineering and music composing. Today we're going to talk about pretty basic stuffs but very essentials to take science, art and philosophy to the next level. This video is primarily going to be the courseware for those who want to take up the entrance exam with Mox Media Academy to enroll into 12-month diploma in audio engineering and music composing. Let's dive into the subject. Energy. I'm going to give a definition which is slightly deviating from the textbooks. Energy is a consequence of atomic properties that is present in any material. To put it very simple, it is the efficiency that is present in me or this piece of iron to react and do any work. To put it very simple, this is a ferrous, an iron. The atomic number of this is 26. It means it has got 26 protons and 26 electrons. And make sure all the electrons are revolving around the protons in an orbit. Oh, there is so much happening while I am holding this piece of small iron in my hands. We have been taught this is a non-living thing, but I would say there is an energy present in this piece of iron and the same energy is present in me as well. Sometimes the energy is so small we neglect it. Sometimes it is so huge like that of a nuclear weapon, but the source of energy is primarily the same. Another example, take a gas which I could not see it. Iron I can see. Let's take helium gas. This has got 2 protons which is in the center and 2 electrons which is in the orbit and it is revolving around the protons. That's a problem. When these 2 positive protons are there, we already know positive charges ripple away. So they try to move back. To add a glue to this, there is a neutron which is going to be equally present as the number of protons. So there are 2 protons, there has to be 2 neutrons to glue the protons so that they don't move away from each other. So this is the atomic structure of helium gas. Just mind, so much is happening and there is an energy in every material. Now that we know what energy is all about, we'll look into sound energy and light energy. Sound is basically the brain's interpretation of pressure changes that happens in atmosphere or any material. Why do you specifically I say brain's interpretation? Because whole bunch of sounds are there which human brain cannot perceive, whereas animal brains can perceive it. Take an example of a string. When the string is plugged, the string moves forward creating a high pressure in the atmosphere. And when the string retraces back, there's a low pressure created. So sound is basically a series of high and low pressures. If I had to plot it in a graph, this is how it will look. Take an example of a swing which is in the stable position. As the swing moves forward, it creates a high pressure. Then again it has to come to the stable position and it goes back in an opposite direction to gain momentum and again it comes back to the initial position. So this completes one full oscillation. Probably we would also call it as a cycle. Amplitude. I can choose to hit myself very gently or gain more momentum to hit harder. This strength or intensity is called as the amplitude. Any repetitive action that is counted over time is called as frequency. I can choose to hit myself 1. This is 1 Hertz. This is 3 Hertz because I hit my hand thrice in 1 second. So human brain can perceive 20 Hertz and up to 20,000 Hertz. As I try to accommodate more frequencies, I have to squeeze in the length of each oscillation. That is called as the wavelength. We all know about Leonardo da Vinci, who lived during 14th and 15th century. We know him as a great artist, a person who drew Mona Lisa, Last Supper and so many other beautiful arts. But you know, he was also a research scholar. He was a scientist, a physician, a mathematician and a great scholar. He was the one who proposed the theory sound travels in form of wave energy. We also know about the famous astronomer Galileo. He told that sun is at the center and all other planets orbit around it. Haters and fanatic people were always there. Instead of rewarding him for this truth, he was given a punishment of lifetime imprisonment. He died as a prisoner. He also contributed to sound. He documented that as the frequency increases, the pitch of any sound also increases or decreases. In 16th century, a scientist, Marin Mersenne, recorded the velocity of sound, nothing but the speed of the sound, and he recorded the speed of the sound to be 344 meters per second. And in 18th century, 1877, Thomas Alva Edison invented the first mechanical device to record audio. Now that we know, sound is a push-pull action of sound pressure or particles present in atmosphere or any medium. So this is also called as longitudinal waves. So what is transverse wave or electromagnetic waves? Imagine a cricket auditorium and the player is going for a catch. The whole audience stand up and they come down. So this up and down movement of particles is called as transverse wave or electromagnetic waves. This theory was proposed by James Clerk Maxwell during 18th century. And he said light is basically the brain's interpretation of electromagnetic waves. So what are electromagnetic waves? Later in 18th century, Heinrich Rudolf Hertz came up with the experiment to demonstrate electromagnetic waves. So these waves are a combination of a magnetic field and an electric field right angle to each other. And it travels with the speed of light. That is 3 into 10 to the power 8 meters per second, 300 million meters per second. This invention led to whole new possibilities. The frequency of electromagnetic waves can vary. The least one is the radio waves, which is used in broadcast and mobile applications. Little greater frequencies of electromagnetic waves are called as microwaves. Little higher, we get the visible light. Little more higher, we get ultraviolet, X-rays and gamma rays. So how do I perceive a person? The light hits you and you send electromagnetic waves to me. That electromagnetic waves enters into my retina and then into my brain, and the brain converts this electromagnetic waves into an image. Give me a second. Don't think I'm going to start with a cooking video. Look for your reflections on the scoop side. Your reflections looks flipped. The other way, the reflection is normal. Have you tried this before? Go and check it. It is high time we need to change our perception and look for new possibilities. Meet you all in the next video.